Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and man, do we have a situation developing that you seriously need to pay attention to. It is May 18th, 2026, and the atmosphere right now is just heavy. Okay, so the Iran-US ceasefire is technically still on the books, right? But overnight, President Trump jumped on Truth Social and dropped some words that honestly sent shockwaves through the oil markets. It had diplomats all over the globe waking up at 3 a.m. to scramble, and, it is serious when the negotiators are checking their phones in the middle of the night. Trump basically pulled the, hey yo, Iran, you up, move. But it was not a joke. He basically told them the clock is ticking and they better move fast or there will be nothing left of them. Now, this was not just some random Twitter finger policy. You have to realize this man just saw the targeting package. He knows exactly what happens if the hostilities kick back off, and whether Iran decides to show up to the table or not. We are seeing the framework for a massive showdown being built in real time, but here's the kicker that I really want to dig into with you guys today, because there is an aircraft in the Middle East right now doing training missions, running reconnaissance flights, just making sure everything is under control, and that is the AC-130J Ghost Rider. This is a literal gunship, and if you saw what happened in Nigeria when the ISIS #2 leader got taken out a few days ago, those were the telltale signs of the AC-130. So now we are hearing reports that there are at least 4 of these monsters in the Middle East, and let me tell you, this is the bird that I think is going to take it to Iran and their little mini navy. If things go south, they are doing escalated training right now. And let me break down why this thing is a nightmare for them. The AC-130J can loiter for hours, just circling like a shark. And the big thing is the 105mm howitzer mounted on the side. Like when a minigun is not enough, you just pull out the artillery, right? It is a crowd pleaser for all the wrong reasons. But today we are going to walk through exactly why this aircraft is sitting at the top of the spear to take out those fast attack boats. We have seen them come way too close to carriers. They have been threatening cargo tankers, basically acting like they own the Strait of Hormuz. But now we have the ultimate game of whack. Mole entering the theater, so we are going to look at the timeline from the moment these negotiations collapse to the moment that Iran's mosquito fleet just ceases to exist. We know they have like 500 to 1,000 of these fast attack boats, but honestly, studying Iran for almost a decade, it is clear to me this was their last domino. This was the thing they were going to lean on to harass the world, but let us rewind the last 18 hours because it is a tale of 2 different worlds. So you have these 2 tracks running simultaneously, and it is obvious they are heading in opposite directions. The post from Trump landed Sunday night right after a meeting with his national security team. And this was not impulsive. This came right out of a session where he is deciding what comes next. Reports are also saying that the administration spoke by phone with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, so the focus is locked in, and then separately the admin told Axios on the record that if Iran does not improve their proposal, they are going to get hit much harder, and that framing harder, much harder. That is very deliberate. It is signaling that what happened in Operation Epic Fury back in February and March was just the floor, not the ceiling, and CENTCOM is right there. They are ready to go the moment that thumb goes down. I know. The Iranian missiles and naval assets took a beating, but they are in their bunkers right now. They are trying to rebuild, and intel confirms that Iran has used the ceasefire to reconstitute mobile launchers. We are seeing like a 70% recovery rate. They have these hardened underground facilities where they are just hiding and fixing things. The ceasefire was basically a reloading window, but Washington knows that they were willing to accept it because they have systems like the AC-130J that can go in and just swat these boats out of the ocean like flies. Now, before we get deeper into the tactics, I have to give a massive shout out to the sponsors who make this channel possible, because if you have been watching the Max Afterburner channel, you know that the next war is not just about jets and carriers. It is about supply chains. And right now, the US is dangerously dependent on one mineral that makes every single advanced weapon system work, and that is tungsten. Think about 35 armor, piercing rounds, jet turbine blades, missile guidance systems, all of it, and China controls most of the global supply, which should honestly bother you, but Washington is finally moving on this. The Department of War has put close to $10 million towards restarting domestic production, and Trump just signed Project Vault, a $12 billion critical mineral stockpile plan. Another $30 billion was announced at the Critical Minerals Ministerial. The money is flowing to the right places, and Vault Strategic Mining, the ticker is NOX in Canada and KNXF in the US. They are building what could be the most strategic tungsten project portfolio on the continent, including 3 historical mines in Nevada. It is early, it is domestically focused, it is defense aligned. You guys should definitely check them out at vaultstrategic.com and click the link in the description. So getting back to the Iranian side, obviously Iran has a vote too. Right, know your enemy, know yourself. Those are the words of Sunday Tizu. An Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson confirmed Monday morning that Tehran had formally responded to the latest U.S. proposal via a Pakistani mediator. Oh, Pakistan, the guys who we know are hiding Iranian aircraft. Classic, the response has not been made public yet, but it is clear they are demanding sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz. They are basically like, hey, we want to own and extort an international waterway. Why can you not just let us do that? We are not asking for much. We just want to extort the world's energy markets, and they want compensation for war more damages. Release of frozen assets, lifting of all sanctions. Oh, and the funny part, the counterproposal did not mention the nuclear program at all. Not one single word. The nuclear question is the whole reason Operation Epic Fury launched. It is the red line, meanwhile, at the tip of the spear. The pressure has not stopped. Reports are showing that on Friday, U.S. forces fired on Iranian oil tankers trying to skirt the naval blockade, and on Sunday, 3 drones targeted the Baraka nuclear plant in Abu Dhabi, which we talked about yesterday. 2 were intercepted, 1 hit the electrical generator. This is the only operating nuclear power plant in the Arab world, so Iran is still striking their Gulf partners during the ceasefire. And then the Iran foreign minister has the nerve to say that the Islamic Republic has been able to establish itself as a power and an actor in the region. An actor who can confront the greatest powers. Honestly, I think he said that while sitting at the bottom of the Persian Gulf just hoping his mini-navy can stay hidden, but that is the mindset. They have never won a war, but they think they are winning the game. They just want to gaslight everyone for 47 years while they keep the money flowing. But the actual free Iranian people see none of that. So back to the IRGC, the actual gangsters running the place. They are essentially a built-in insurgency in their own country. And when you look at their capabilities, their surface-to-air missile infrastructure is shredded. A lot of those systems that have to talk to each other to form a cohesive network have been smashed. And their actual navy, the larger ships, those are basically gone. 160 plus of them are just toast, but that Mosquito fleet is still the main concern, which is why we need to talk about the AC-130J. But first, let us do the global roundup because there are things you absolutely need to know. So Sunday morning, 3 drones entered UAE airspace from the western border. And we know who is behind that. Air defenses got 2, the third hit the generator at the Baraka plant. This is huge because that plant powers 25% of the UAE's electricity grid. No radiological release, but it shows Iran is not afraid to hit energy infrastructure. And separately, Saudi Arabia confirmed it intercepted 3 drones coming from Iraqi airspace the same night. So Iran is flying drones through Iraq to target the Saudis. It is the classic blame game. They think they are being sneaky, but everyone sees the strings. Story number 2. China is playing both sides. The American Enterprise Institute's latest update documents what U.S. intel has suspected for months. China is providing covert military support to Iran while simultaneously posturing towards Taiwan and doing economic coercion against U.S. allies. It is a multi-front campaign. And then that container ship incident, the one with all the weapons, it had links to China, and the IRGC just happened to grab it when they were running low on gear. The Trump Sea Summit last week was all about Taiwan and Iran, and China walked away with a $17 billion U.S. agriculture purchase commitment, which helps, but it does not address the high resolution satellite imagery they are giving the IRGC. And story number 3, the Pentagon handed AI the trigger. They signed agreements with OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and SpaceX to put AI models directly into classified military networks. The Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane said autonomous weapons are a key and essential part of the future. They requested $13.4 billion for autonomous systems in the 2026 budget. These machines are coming, and they are likely already here. So imagine integrating this into drone systems or undersea systems to protect the strait. AI targeting is about to be the next big thing. Now, let us get into the Ghost Rider. There are confirmed reports that 3 AC-130Js are in the Strait of Hormuz right now. They transitioned through Raf Lakenheath in March, and one of them is rumored to have the call sign Nyx, the Greek goddess of the night, which is just peak weapons officer humor. This thing is built on the Mk1-130J Commando 2 airframe. It is a C-130J Super Hercules turned into a precision-killing platform by AFSOC. 4 rolls, Royce turboprop engines, max speed of 400 miles per hour, range of 3,000 miles, and it can be refueled. But the weapons, oh man, the weapons, a 30mm GAU, 23A cannon on the side, and then the 105mm M102 howitzer, the same piece that has been punching holes in things since Vietnam. It fires a 33 pounds projectile, and when it fires, the recoil actually jolts the aircraft 3 feet to the right. That is how much power we are talking about. It also carries Hellfire missiles and small-diameter bombs for standoff engagements. But the sensor package is what makes it a nightmare dual electro. Optical infrared sensors that can identify individual people from 20,000 feet in the dark. The crew can track multiple targets at once. So the sensor operator sees the target, the fire control officer clears it, and the weapons officer puts the 105 on the spot. It is a layer-by-layer system. They will team up with F-15S and F-35S to funnel targets and then just decimate the Mosquito fleet. It is the perfect platform for plinking these boats one by one like we saw in Africa. So now let us move to the 4D chess section, because there is more to these Truth Social posts than people think. I think Trump is running a dual-track strategy. Track 1 is public, the clock is ticking, get moving or else. This keeps the negotiators under pressure and prevents the IRGC hardliners from taking total control. It signals to the world the US is not soft. Track 2 is the back channel, giving Iran some concessions to see if they will take the off-ramp. Like Sunday Tizu said, give your enemy a way to save face so they do not have to fight to the death. But the problem is, Iran is a mess internally. There are factions fighting for power. They do not even know who is steering the ship. But if they do not come to the table, the Ghost Rider is right there ready to light up the mini navy. So what do you think happens next? Are they going to blink, or are they going to go down with their mosquito fleet? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And hey, go join the Max Ready Room by clicking the link in the description and watch this next video right here. It is going to be wild. This is Ryan, also known as Max Afterburner, signing off. And seriously, I can just picture the scene. The negotiators are flipping through the pages. Iran is like, yeah, pages 1 through 10 say we control the strait and extort everyone. And the US is like, hey, what about the nuclear program? And they are like, oh, that is in pages 11 through 100. And they flip to page 11, and it is just 90 pages of blank paper. That is definitely how they negotiate peace.